If you've never, how many of you have seen this before? You've seen, oh yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'll get off that soapbox then. God sent them to the firmament, set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth and to rule over the day and over the night and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. So the evening and the morning were the fourth day. He does that every day. Do you realize that? In case we didn't get it the first time. Evening, morning, and he gives a numerical value to every day. He doesn't stop. He does it every time. Every time. Almost as if he knew evolution would come along, and we have to be told it's not an old earth, it is a young earth that has gone through some horrific stuff. There was a flood that messed up a lot of stuff. Over and over again. Qualifiers. So on the fourth day, what did he create? 3 things in particular. Yeah. You remember? Sun, moon, and stars. Good. On the 5th day, God said, let the water teem with living creatures, and let the birds fly above the earth. Remember, he's filling that second environment, right? The water from the water and the air in between. Across the vault of the sky, so God created the great creatures of the sea, all of them, all of them, all of them. Even Leviathan. If you want to read about a Chinese dragon, check out the Leviathan. God is using it as an example. He uses 2 different animals, and we'll talk about the other one in just a minute here, but Job chapter 41. He says, you think you're big and bad? You think you can control me? You think you can tell me what to do? You can't even control this. How do you expect to control me? How do you expect to tell me what to do, Job? Read Leviathan. If you've never read that, it's really cool. Kids, you want to read a really scary bedtime story? Read this one right here. Job 41. Chinese dragon. May not be a mythical creature. I don't think it is, actually. There's so much proof of that. I'd love to do a talk just on dinosaurs, but I'm not ready for that talk yet. So, but Job 41. And every living thing with which the water teems or is bursting with life, which I think is really cool because you take a drop of water and it is bursting with life, right? You take pond water, you take ocean water, you take water out of your tap, and it'll probably scare you, all the stuff that's in your water. But there is living creatures galore, teeming in your water. Bursting with life. That moves around in it according to their kinds. According to their kinds. According to their kinds. It doesn't matter what kind of animal it is, it will always reproduce according to its kind. This is what biogenesis means. Biogenesis has to me, it has a two-part meaning. First, it means that all life must have, how does that say it in your paper? Let me see that. I'm going to make sure I help you guys with this. I just realized that it's written in there kind of weird. Life can only come from life. And all living things reproduce after their own kind. So every winged bird, according to its kind. What kind of an animal is going to come out of those eggs? Do you guys know? Little blue eggs that you find in your tree. You know you're going to have what?
A rabbit.
A rabbit, that's right. No, that's not even that time of year.
The Easter Bunny.
The Easter Bunny. You guys are bad at this. Okay, so I'll guess now. A robin. So there's here's just an idea now. We all know what a normal egg is, like a chicken egg. That's the one in the middle. So what's the big egg? And what's the little egg? I already went ahead. Little egg would be a hummingbird. You realize how small that is compared to the big egg? There is all kinds of variety, but you know what? All those eggs are going to produce right there? Birds. They will always produce birds. You get some other eggs and you get reptiles, and they're not anywhere close to the same thing. Scales and feathers are incredibly different. They don't even stem out of the same part of their body. One of them is like a hair follicle that's incredibly, it's like blood vessels and stuff. They can cool themselves. They can do all kinds of stuff with feathers. And scales are more like a flap of the skin. They're not even the same. They don't even come from the same kind of place. You know what I'm saying? They're on the body, but they're not the same kind of thing at all. And they try to tell you in evolution that the scales will eventually turn into feathers. They're not even the same kind of thing. One is a fold of skin, and the other one is a hair follicle. It's coming out of your pore. It's different. It's not even this. How does it change that? That would be a big question. And God saw that it was good, all of it. And God blessed them and said, be fruitful and increase in number, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth. And there was evening and there was morning, the fifth day. So what did God create on the fifth day? Yeah.
He filled the skies and the land and the seas with living creatures.
Not the land yet. Well, I mean, the birds probably were on the land, but they filled the sky and the water. So you have fish and fish and birds. It's bad. Okay, so the sixth day, then God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature according to its kind. Again, he keeps saying that phrase. Have you guys caught how many times yet? It's a lot. Cattle and creeping things and beasts of the earth. I think the cattle are like domesticated animals. The beasts of the earth are the ones that aren't domesticated. They're the wild ones. That's my personal definition of it anyways. Each according to its kind, and it was so. Crazy how they got them all to stand there together, huh? And God made the beasts of the earth according to its kind. He didn't. Okay, cattle according to its kind, and everything that creeps on the earth according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. So here's the leading guy on zoology, which is the study of zoos. That's right, no. This is animals, the study of animals. Animals give the appearance of having been designed by a theoretically sophisticated and practically ingenious physicist or engineer, and this guy scoffs at Christians and says, we believe a fairy tale. Isn't that crazy? Then God said, let us make man in our image. And by the way, this is what makes man special from any other creature on this planet. We are created in the image of God. And that is exciting. We talked about this last week a little bit. This is what made Sir Isaac Newton think that science was even possible, because not only did God create everything, but then he wired us like him, so we should be able to look around at nature and understand things because we are wired like the Creator. Isn't that cool? You have natural instincts and logic that come out whether you've been trained or not. Like seeing that bike in the tree. You're not even a scientist and you guys knew that didn't grow on the tree, even though I tried to convince you. Or Mount Rushmore. You know what I'm saying? We would look at that and draw automatic conclusions. With even a small child would draw an automatic conclusion about that. Because we are wired like God. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the birds of the air and over the cattle and over all the earth and over every creeping thing that creeps in the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female, he created them. And then he said, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, over every living thing that moves on the earth. And I believe on that sixth day of creation, because there wasn't a lot of days before then, so when did the dinosaurs get created, most of them? On the sixth day. Did they come out before man? Did dinosaurs live here before man? For a few hours maybe. And that's about it. They were here the same day we were. They're not one day older than us. We have the same birthday. And this creature right here, I believe, is what the Bible calls a behemoth. Check it out in Job chapter 40. I think it's really cool. We'll mention that again later on, I think, but that's absolutely fascinating. When you read this story about, and some people try to say it's an elephant or a hippo or something like that, but its tail is like a cedar tree. So that kind of knocks out both of those guys, right? But this thing had a tail like a cedar, didn't it? Legs like trees, tail like a tree. The thing was massive. And God said, look, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it shall be for food. Also to every beast of the earth, to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth in which there is life, I have given every herb, every green herb for food, and it was so. So what did animals eat in the Garden of Eden? Every green herb, right? Grass, fruit. Just because they have sharp teeth doesn't mean that they eat flesh. Fruit bats don't, and they got really sharp teeth. They look wicked bad if you look at them close up. They'd be scary if you saw one that was as big as you know. You would think for sure this thing would suck my blood, but it doesn't. It sucks juice out of a plant, or sometimes nectar out of a flower. Crazy. Then God saw everything that he had made, and indeed it was very good. So the evening and the morning were the sixth day. So what did God create on the sixth day? It's not right. Yeah.
The land animals and,
The land animals, they already had food on the third day, right?
and
Other planets?
On the fourth day. What?
Man.
Yes! Yes, okay, good. Genesis 2. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day, God had finished the work that he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all of his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. I think it's really interesting. Like, you go to another book of the Bible, which honestly is written by the same guy, Moses. But Exodus says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. So even later on, how many days did it take God to create the earth? 6 days. You realize you have a 6-day work week, and then the seventh day we rest because of the 6 days of creation? So God doesn't tell us to rest for several million years, right? You know, do your work for millions and millions of years, and on the seventh millionth year, then you rest. It's just the days. These are the days of the week. All this stuff is based on it. Like, we have a 7-day calendar based on the fact that God created everything in 7 days. Just kind of interesting. And in the New Testament, it does mention the seventh day again, that God rested on the seventh day. That's why we rest on the seventh day. But this is the account of the heavens and the earth when they were created, when the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. What kind of account is this? Was someone there to observe this? Who wrote this, by the way? Who wrote Genesis? Anybody know? Who's the author of Genesis? God is the author of Genesis, absolutely. Who is the man that wrote it? Moses. Was Moses kind of back there near Adam in the genealogy? No, like he's a bit down the road, right? Like there was approximately 1,300 years, and there was a flood, and then there was Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and then there's 400 years of slavery, and then Moses comes along, right? So that's like a lot of time, right? That's like at least almost 3,000 years since the beginning. How does Moses know what happened here in the beginning?